Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe, and I wanted to talk about Paganini horror. These movies always remind me of my friend Full Custom Hot Dog. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't seen him, but these silly, like Italian over-the-top horror movies just instantly remind me of him. So Paganini horror has one of the coolest covers. This is a release by Severin. It is the single disc Blu-ray. I got it on eBay for $13 with shipping, I think, which wasn't bad. It's usually around 20. So Paganini Horror is about this female, or I guess it's not really fully female, but this band, and they're playing a song at the beginning that sounds very much like Bon Jovi. And the manager is saying to them that the song isn't good and they're not going to sell well and all this stuff. So they got like a little tiff, and then the guy from the band meets up with Donald Pleasance and purchases a music sheet that was written by Paganini, who is a old famous composer and musician, and he sells him this music sheet. You don't really get the full thing. It's sort of a clandestine trade. You don't understand fully what's around it or why it happens, but he sells him this music sheet and they play the music and they realize it's a Paganini song that has never been released, so they're going to play it and they decide to do a music video for it. If you're too young, you may not know what music videos are. And they go to this old house and rent it out and decide to do a Paganini music video and call the song Paganini Horror. Paganini is this old, as I said, musician who was so, excellent at his craft that they said he sold his soul to the devil to become so well, and that he had, I think, murdered someone, and I think his lover, and used her. I forget what they said. Used her. It wasn't her intestine. Something as strings on his violin, and blah blah blah. Sort of like Robert Johnson, the old blues singer. The movie has voiceovers in it, so even though Donald Pleasance is in it and has a pretty cool part, it's not his voice. It sounds different. Um, the movie plays out sort of like a haunted house film with lots of killings and hallucinations and weirdness. It has that cheesy, thick layer of Italian cheese, not mozzarella, but something just cheesy. It has that like Beyond the Door cheesiness, if you've ever seen that, or any other Italian cheesy film. It reminded me in some facet of Bloody New Year, where not as goofy and not as over the top, but these characters are in this mansion or house that they've rented, and they're going around and they're sort of getting picked off in strange fashion, and it just feels like there's little setups in each of the rooms. Most of the kills aren't that gratuitous or gory. There is one really cool one where someone gets crushed on like a piece of plexiglass and they explode and the blood just squirts all over the people. So that was kind of interesting. The film looks kind of grainy. I felt like I guess this is all they really had. So it looks good. It doesn't look bad by any means. But there's a lot of grain in this movie that I noticed, where in other Blu-rays where they've done up conversions or um, revisions, it's not really there's not as much grain usually. But if I were to compare it to something, I would definitely say it reminds me most of Bloody New Year, which I really enjoy. And it grew on me. Initially, I didn't like it. I thought there was too much singing with this like band playing and stuff. But they also do have this Paganini, I guess, demon, if you will. It's like a little guy with gray hair in a sort of skeleton mask. Not nearly as cool as the cover. He's not on the back either, so I can't show you a picture of him. But it's kind of little mask and a hat, and he's going around and orchestrating things, no pun intended, and killing the people in the band. So it's a fun little movie. It's short. It's like 84 minutes, so it's a quick watch. And if you like that silly over the top Italian horror, as I said, like Beyond the Door 3 has that silliness to it, but not as much. Trying to think of what else. There's quite a few of them. Not Cruel Jaws, because that involves an animal, but you get my point. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, even though this was done by Luigi Cozzi, who, if I remember correctly, did Cruel Jaws. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, I would check out Paganini Horror. You can find it, I believe, on was it Amazon or Tubi to watch for free. So great cover, not as good. The movie is not as good as the cover, but the movie's still pretty fun. So thanks guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe